Hi, I'm Saratoga Ocean, and in this video, I'm going to share with you a truly inspiring channeled audio message about the true meaning of love, relationships, a little bit about twin flames and soulmates, and so much more. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button because I post many videos to help guide you on your spiritual awakening. Now, I am a full body channel, and I channel 6 different beings who together refer to themselves as Telstar. And the one who channeled this audio message goes by the name of John. Now, I am able to see and interact with these beings interdimensionally. So let me tell you a little bit about John. He's tall, he's got darkish skin. It's just beautiful, like emanates this beautiful golden quality. He has dark hair, he has deep brown eyes, and he's often dressed in colors of white and purple and gold. And as you may have heard me say in another video where I shared an audio channeling with you guys, the colors of their clothing, of their, I want to call it adornment because that's what it's like. It is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. It just emanates powerful light and love. I mean, the love is just, oh, it's beautiful, guys. I mean, honestly, every time I try to put this into words, I literally cannot put words on it. But he is just so beautiful and so amazing. His communication is very much like, it's just so direct and so to the point. But there's so much love. And the other thing I want to share with you guys about John that's so amazing, he is the expert on extraterrestrial, anything at all. I don't care what it is. He is like, oh my gosh, you guys, he is the guy. I don't even know what to say. I have stories I could tell you, but not for this video. Now, you will hear my voice change in this channeling because, as I said, I'm a full body channel, so they basically use my body to speak to you from who they really are. So without further ado, here is the audio channeled message, a beautiful, inspiring message about love from John. Greetings, beloved friends. This is John, and I am here today to speak to you on the subject of love. Now, love is an overused word in this particular planetary reality, for it is used far too broadly with far too much expectation behind it. So in order to clarify, let us go back to the very beginning in terms of the origins of love itself. And in order to understand this, you must understand a little bit about your current planetary situation. So the origins of love are well known and well founded. That is what is termed infinite love, the infinite oneness of infinite love that creates all that is throughout the entire omniverse. That is the love that all of you seek. That is the love that is pure, unadulterated, unconditional, and an absolute constant. In fact, this is the truth of what love actually is. And this is the love that you actually seek in your current system of duality. But here's the problem, my dearest friends. You cannot access that love from within duality itself, because duality, the existence of duality, has what is termed tampered with, to put it mildly, the truth of that omnipresent, unconditional oneness of love. So there is never an issue with true love. True love, meaning infinite omnipresent love. There are no issues with that truth of love. There never are, there never will be. There is no past, present, and future in that love. There is only the ever-present moment of now. That is where the ultimate peace, the ultimate creativity, and the ultimate empowerment lies. There is no conflict in that love. So understand what I'm about to say, viewing it from the love that I've just described to you as the backdrop to all that is. What you are striving for when you seek love in your physical reality is you are ultimately seeking to find your way back to that ultimate omnipresent truth of love. But you cannot find it in duality, and that is what you must indeed come to terms with. Because there is a false belief that you will somehow be able to work your way through this duality of good, bad, right, wrong, conditions, deals, and agreements. Now, love is often seen as some kind of a trade on this planet. In other words, if you do this for me, then perhaps I shall do that for you. Or if you do enough for me, then perhaps I shall deem that to mean that you therefore love that which is I, and vice versa. So it's often a 50-50 proposition fraught with division itself. So when two people say they love each other, the mystery and the mystique of that experience lies in the fact that it is not permanent. And you understand what I'm saying, right? You meet someone, you fall in love, and the feeling is that that love shall last forever. Because in that moment, you have tapped into the truth of love itself. But what you are now not accounting for is the fact that you live in this universe of duality, which is setting you forth on the beginning of that relationship from a place of division and separation. So even though you have connected in the love with that person, the division is going to begin to break it down not long after the onset of that experience. And I'm giving this to you, I must admit to you, my dearest friends, in overly simplified terms. But let us just refer to this as the beginning of a much more long-term need for understanding. So perhaps you should have a different word for love on this earth. Perhaps it should be referred to as divided love, rather than oneness of love. So let us talk now about expectation as it pertains to love. So when you feel love for another human being, you fully initially expect that love to last forever, which indeed it should, because forever exists in the moment of now. That love never disintegrates and it never goes away. But where you run into trouble is that because you rightly expect that, yet you are not accounting for your current earth-based situation of duality, you are often met with surprise when the love does not match up to those high expectations, or when that love does not last. Or perhaps even when that love is turned away from you. Your love is turned away by someone else, or someone else's love is turned away by you. And that is often followed by feelings of shock and surprise and, my goodness, I thought that person loved me, or I thought I would love that person forever. Now, to put it simply, what this all adds up to is what I would refer to as unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations that immediate, pure, unconditional love shall follow through from now until the end of time itself. So here's what I suggest that you do, my dearest friends, so that you can have a smoother ride in your lives when it comes to the subject of love. Recognize that the person that you feel love for, and who may or may not feel love for you, recognize that between the two parties, each person is suffering from a tremendous amount of division within themselves. Each person is suffering from an enormous amount of inner conflict. Each person probably carries with them trauma, unresolved experiences in their lives. So the love that you initially feel perhaps is strong enough to pass through that in the same way that a light passes through darkness. But eventually, because you are living from those places of unresolved issues, that light begins to bend around those issues. And as it bends, it diminishes. So if you go into a relationship with the understanding of your current earth-based predicament, you can have a much smoother ride. Because perhaps in such a case as this earth-based reality, perhaps you may also need to look at a subject known as compatibility. Now, compatibility refers to the nuances, the unique and individual propensities of each individual person, the unmatched past experiences that each person has, that love must continuously be able to filter through. Because you see, if you were fully connected to that infinite love within you that resides within you and in others, which is what the word namaste is all about, is it not? If you were powerfully and permanently connected to that love would burn through all of that darkness. That love would therefore transmute all of those issues and all of those problems. But that is not likely to happen at any point in time in the more current, I'll call it your current future. Because there are many other things that must be resolved on a planetary scale before such a level of empowerment can be realized. So what you can do, my dearest friends, is look at love and compatibility as two different issues. The more compatible you find yourself to be with another person on a purely earthly level, the more of a smooth path that love can flow through and continue to reach each one of you. The more incompatible you may be on a fundamentally earthly level, the more difficulty that love is going to have in continuing to find its way through all of that division and unresolved conflict that resides within each person. In other words, there are not as many places for you to match each other in the flow of that love. So incompatibility does not necessarily mean a lack of love. It simply means that the situation is far too difficult to sustain the experience of that original love. Now, let me say a little bit on the topic of twin flames, soulmates, etc., and on the topic of finding what one would refer to as the one. Now, there are all kinds of discrepancies in the explanations for such things, but it all comes down to a very simple concept. And the concept is this: every person is looking for the one, meaning the one with whom that love can flow most powerfully and most permanently. You see how simple that actually is. It's not about the compatibility side of things. Now, in order to release yourself from the prison of need that says, I must find this one, in quotes, you need to release that need and rather place your attention on the planetary issue of duality that is circumventing the fulfillment of that desire. And if we remove the labels of twin flames, soulmates, and whatever other labels you have come up with on this planetary sphere, if we just remove those labels altogether and go to the essence of what it is that you truly seek, you are truly seeking to connect with another human being in the permanence of that omnipresent love and light. So a successful relationship would not necessarily be one that is perfect and flawless and smooth without any friction whatsoever. On the other hand, it would really refer to a relationship where both parties understand their planetary plight at a larger scale and are willing to work through their own issues together, hand in hand, with the full understanding that those issues really have nothing whatsoever to do with the love that they deeply feel for one another. So I leave you with this simple understanding. Do not judge yourself or others. Do not judge one another for your ability or lack of ability to express and experience love. Have compassion for the planetary situation of duality that you are all living in. Some do better than others. Some are more conscious than others. But you must have compassion if you want to have peace, my dearest friends. Because without compassion, there can be no peace. Because without compassion, there will be judgment, evaluation, fear, and disappointment. You see, all human beings are already connected in that omnipresent love, as is all of nature, as is the entire galactic universe. All is that which springs forth from love, that which is created from love. So there is indeed a oneness to all things. And your main struggle on this planet is finding a way to feel connected to that in your current reality. So rather than obsessing over human relationships, disappointments, judgments, and conditions, what I would suggest to you is that you understand the love that you really seek is to feel that permanence, that omnipresent love. Look for that within yourself. Look for that within your world. Look for that within all living things. Nurture and cultivate that more and more and more. Be a light unto all else. Let that love fill you from within. And don't be disappointed if you are not met with a reciprocal love in your life, because that condition of not being met with that reciprocal love, I can assure you, is temporary. It is temporary because the conditions of duality, the conditions of all of this trouble and difficulty around the subject of love shall be worked through. It shall be worked out. It is part of your evolution. It is part of your ascension beyond this dimension of reality. So it will indeed be worked out. This is not a permanent situation, this situation of stress and strife and division. So be at peace, my dearest friends. If you can, allow yourselves to relax. Do not allow yourself to get caught in the conflict and the fear that, oh no, no one will ever love me, or perhaps I will never find the one that I truly desire to love. All of that difficulty is temporary and shall be resolved throughout the entire creation. And with that, I send you peace, love, and infinite blessings. Goodbye.